every Thursday. I want drugs.
We're going to start with Wisdom Form, and I would like to preface that the method I'm about to show you for leveling up Wisdom Form becomes unviable later on, as the Heartless and the Allied in-between are later replaced with Nobodies, I believe, after you finish fighting Roxas. So if you'd like to use this method on a save file that has already finished the game or finished fighting Roxas, that will not be possible. Your best bet is to go to Timeless River and play through the minigames there. First of all, go to the save file and Alley of In-Between, and then go to Fragment Crossing. I highly recommend putting Thundaga in your shortcuts, as it helps take care of the Heartless much more quickly in this area. If you cast 2 Thundagas back to back, the second Thundaga will be a lot more powerful and cover much more area than the first. I recommend doing this to take care of more Heartless more quickly. When your form gauge is about to run out, always return to Alley to In-Between to make sure that regenerates. The Heartless do not respawn in Fragment Crossing after you change from Alley to In-Between back to Fragment Crossing. If you want the Heartless to respawn, you have to go to Between and Betwixt through the green portal at the end of Alley to In-Between in order to respawn them. As soon as your form gauge starts to get low to about 1.5 or 0, always run back to Alley to In-Between to regenerate it. If you return to Alley to In-Between when your form gauge has run out, it will not restore back to full. I highly recommend using Oathkeeper while you do any of this leveling for any of the drive forms that I'm about to show you, as it greatly increases the duration of your drive forms. Each drive form collects EXP in different methods. Please be aware by farming this path not to go over that grate, as you will get locked into a cutscene and then have a boss fight with Roxas. If no more Heartless are present, go to Between and Betwixt to refresh. Time for Valor form.
Sigma, honey, you're my phantom. Honey, you're the Rizzler.
First of all, we're going to head to Agrabah in the Chasm of Challenges. Once again, we will be using the Oathkeeper Keyblade to prolong the duration of your drive form. Head into the treasure room, you should see this weird fucking mushroom thing. I don't know, man. Turn into your Valor form, then engage in combat with it. It heals consistently, and since Valor form's EXP scales off of how many times you hit it, it becomes very beneficial to gaining that EXP, considering you can just hit it as many times as you want. And you probably won't be able to defeat it unless you're, like, kind of busted. For the sub-Keyblade on Valor form, it can be really any Keyblade you'd like. Unlike Alley to Between, your drive form will still drain even after you leave. To combat this, simply run out of the treasure room once your drive gauge gets low and go to the save point. If you go to the world map while in your drive form, when you come back, your drive form gauge will be completely replenished. Leveling up Valor form is very straightforward this way, and it should take maybe about 20 minutes to max it out.
Oh, I can do something else that takes
Another
20
very
minutes.
helpful ability is Combo Plus, which increases the amount of hits in your combo. Now on to Limit form.
When I'm back on the cloud.
For Limit form, the easiest place I've found personally is Halloween Town. Limit form levels up based on how many limit attacks you execute, which can consume anywhere from all to half of your MP. The only catch is to get the EXP, you must execute the finishing move on a target. If you miss your finisher, or your Heartless that you're attacking dies, you will not get EXP for that. Just like with Agrabah, when our drive gauge gets low, we return to the world map and then return back to max it out. I also recommend entering your drive form while you're inside Santa's workshop. Make sure to enter your drive form while in Santa's workshop, as to avoid getting anti-form. We don't want that until later. Plus, with anti-form, when you re-enter Santa's workshop, your drive gauge goes back to 0, which means a lot of unnecessary time wasted. Since you use MP to execute limit attacks, abilities such as MP haste can be extremely beneficial. If you're quick enough, you might get 4 EXP per run at higher levels. Now for Master form. Master form is a little different. Your secondary Keyblade matters a lot.
Too, if you know
Using
what I
the
mean.
Wishing Lamp for its jackpot ability, it lets us gain more money. And if you have the Drive Converter ability, money that is dropped will be more likely to turn into Drive Orbs instead. More Drive Orbs is more EXP, as Master form gains its EXP through Drive Orbs. Now, Master form is one of the simplest to level up. It's just so straightforward.
I know
Lure
something else
enemies
that's
towards the
straightforward.
merry-go-round, then use the reaction command to spin it, and they will drop tons of drive
go.
orbs. And since it's so simple, enjoy this montage of Sora running around in circles.
Did you get lobotomized?
No, I didn't get... Dude, what the fuck are you even talking about? What? Okay, man, what the fuck, whatever.
Jenga.
Now we can move on to final form. Final form is the most difficult form to get in the game. To unlock final form, you first must beat Roxas in a fight, which you will later see I tried to do here. I'll just let you watch this suffering really quick before I get to the
let watch your
explanation.
dumbass.
Nigga tried to up 5 bands, nigga, you work at Custer Hut. Nigga swear he got some money, but he work at Bellfire. My cousin broke his hell, who the hell hire him? That nigga gay as hell, he'll probably fuck on Zaza Way. Y'all plugs not sick, we know y'all Zaza fake. I'm finna ask my mom to make me some macaroni and cheese. I just smacked up some cinnamon toast crunch, it was the bee's knee. I just looked up some chocolate bit bookies. Those are not edibles, those are chocolate chip cookies.
Now that that's over with,
Yeah,
after
better
defeating Roxas, you will get a Keyblade called 2 Become 1.
Me and bro, 2
Light and
Become
Darkness
1
is
right
its
after saying
ability.
we
It doesn't
ain't
exactly
gay.
tell you what this ability does, but I will explain it. Unlike
still
earlier where I
run
said you
like
don't
that?
want to get anti-form, this is when you're going to want to start trying to get anti-form. Every time you enter a form change and enter anti-form with the 2 Become 1 Keyblade equipped,
Bro,
there's a
got that
chance that
dog
you
in
will
it.
enter final form. Once you enter final form once, you get to keep it permanently and transform into it at any time. Just like an alley to in between, each time you go from Ruin and Creation's Passage back to Altar of Naught, it fully restores your drive gauge. You can use this to continuously farm EXP by killing nobodies. Final form gains 1 point of EXP similar to Wisdom form, except it's for each nobody you defeat. I simply recommend running through Ruin and Creation's Passage while casting Sundaga to quickly dispatch nobodies and keep an eye on your drive gauge. Just like before, you will run out of drive gauge even if you go back to the Altar of Naught, except this time you'll be left with 0 drive gauge. I have no particular Keyblade recommendations for this form for the first and secondary Keyblade other than Oathkeeper. I also like to equip Oblivion as the second Keyblade for lore reasons and also personal preference because it looks cool. Oblivion is not particularly useful for leveling up this drive form, but Oathkeeper most definitely is. That's honestly about it for final form.
Ahora, pinche vieja, le dije que carta blanca. Ay, perdone mi pochidita.